What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Geeks and Around Discussion Vidcast. I am your executive producer, DeAno Jackson. We are, of course, here to discuss the latest episode of The Walking Dead. This one was actually one I liked a lot. Let's go ahead and get through intro so we can get to it. Of course, starting off with our producer and lead host, Matt Moore. What did you think of this episode?
It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. Someone died that I didn't want to die, but other than that, it was a great episode.
I kind of have to agree. Todd Grundle, how about you, man? What did you think?
Great episode, all those stuff and things. I've got stuff and things to say.
Stuff and things. Isaiah, what did you think of this one?
Fuck this episode. There you go.
Oh, wow. Dissension ranks. Lurod, how about you, man?
I literally love this episode. This episode was fucking great.
I'd have to agree. Last and most certainly not least, Reggie, what did you think of this one?
I enjoyed it. The show is still not really picking up steam for me, though, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say this episode absolutely picked up a whole lot of steam. We had a lot of things happen in this episode. We finally saw focus on a lot of characters that we haven't seen a whole lot of up until now, and that I really liked. I really liked it a lot. It was kind of interesting seeing it's like how the jobs that everyone's kind of assigning themselves, and as they're getting more used to being here, and also we found out that evidently pretty much everybody in this town is a pussy.
Pussy's not the word.
What would you call the word?
Oh, they're pathetic.
No, they're useless. They're all useless motherfuckers I ever saw in my life. They're useless.
Seriously, I know I'm going to jump ahead here, but Glenn did that guy a favor by bringing him back home. I would have just left his pussy ass out there.
Exactly.
I'd have shot him. I'd have fucking shot him.
That's right.
Now you need him to confirm. You need him to confirm that they didn't kill that dude. So he's necessary.
Yeah, I'm in the same
To
camp.
Todd's point, I agree, but honestly, I would have gave him more of a motherfucking beatdown.
Yeah, no, I was in the
I
same
might not
camp. I
have
thought
killed
he was
him,
gonna
but I'd
kill
have
him
shot him
too,
somewhere.
I would have killed him. Like, come on, yo. I would have killed him because he got my own people killed. Fuck him.
But he killed someone that's really not relevant to the story.
But he died the most horrific way ever.
People.
He got eaten alive. We saw Noah just get eaten up alive. He said, everybody hates Chris. No, everyone loves Chris now. Look at the walkers. Everyone loves Chris.
Yeah, apparently.
You know that's why they went so hard with his death, because everybody loves Chris, or everybody hates Chris.
Exactly.
Everybody doesn't love Chris.
Well, they do in this case.
Those walkers seem to love him.
No, those walkers love anybody. They love, what's that other guy's name that got, dumbass decided to shoot a fucking grenade instead of listening.
Who cares? No one cares. Sorry. Don't care. Some black guy.
What's her name's son?
Aiden.
Yeah.
Aiden. Yeah, Aiden, stop shooting!
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Don't
so
listen
stupid.
to the people with actual experience or anything.
And knowledge.
Why would you listen to the people that have been out there surviving in a zombie apocalypse for the past fucking, 4 years at this point? Yeah, why would you listen to them?
Right. And also, one of my people actually.
Why would you listen to dubstep?
Right.
Of all the things to survive the apocalypse, it would have to fucking be dubstep.
I don't know why I survived. I have no fucking clue.
Like seriously, man. It's like the second they got in that van and that started playing, I was like, oh
No
my
jazz,
God,
no rock
man.
and roll, no hip hop. Just okay, dubstep. Really. Fuck you guys.
I would rather have like death metal or whatever than
Metal.
dubstep.
Where's that shit at? Where's Anthrax?
Well, metal. I
That
like
kid
metal.
should have been listening to Warrant or something.
What if it was only Garth Brooks? Only Garth Brooks survived.
The Thunder Roll.
That dubstep, I'll take Garth Brooks any day of the week.
Yeah, same here.
What about Garth Brooks' alter ego? Remember when he went R&B and he put
Oh,
on...
Why would I,
No
do
one
you think
remembers
I actually listened to Garth Brooks? Why the fuck would I remember that? Of course I don't remember that. What a stupid question.
It was all over the news, and I've never heard the man's music.
As he hides the discography under the bed there.
Yeah, it's like, is there something that you'd like to tell us, Todd?
Yeah.
Oh no, not I.
Probably got a Garth Brooks blow-up doll under his bed and shit.
Well,
Oh,
that's irrelevant to the fact of I've never listened to his music.
But again, that pretty much is a showcasing how this group of Alexandria's people are just so incompetent pricks in the planet Earth. Like, really? How do you survive this long?
Well, it's not a matter that they're incompetent pricks. It's just that they're cowards.
Well, it's the same thing.
Isaiah, they answered your very same question by saying, get behind the trucks, let's get in and roll out. They were going to leave Francis for dead. Abraham had to show them that I'm Duke motherfucking Nukem, and I can save the day.
Yeah, that was badass, though. That was badass. But come on, now.
And, I mean, the other idiot who Glenn should have beat the living piss out of, he's another fucking coward.
He should have killed him. I'm sorry. He should have killed him.
I'll admit, it's like I was cracking up laughing. It's like after that whole situation with Duke Nukem saving Francine, and it's like, and she comes up and just punches the shit out of Reg. That was awesome. I was like, okay, you are the first person in all of these new people here that I find that I like, because that was awesome.
Actually,
he deserved that shit.
Too.
That was just like a giant explosion of awesome, starting with Mother of Dick. You know?
Yeah, that was
Mother of Dick.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but Abraham has certainly been the MVP in my book as far as this season goes. I've gotten more the few moments of enjoyment I've gotten have come from him, especially in the last couple episodes.
I agree too.
Still to this date, my favorite thing that he did was knocking Eugene the fuck out. That shit was
no. Talking about Eugene. Eugene actually had some balls and actually did something good for once. He actually did good.
Eugene stepped this game up. As like I'm no longer as much of a Eugene hater as I previously was. It's like, I mean, he's still pretty far from my favorite character, but he's redeemed himself a little bit.
Did I totally miss something though? They're still like listening to him, even though he lied about Washington and everything. They're like still like taking his advice.
In reality, to that point, there he's still the smartest when it comes to certain things. He knew what they needed to keep the power going, so you gotta listen to him for some things.
That's barely anything. Like, okay, good.
I mean, the man is smart as fuck when it comes to probably solar panels and shit of that whatnot. Now, you won't listen to him to kill somebody because he doesn't know how to do that.
But hey, he was rocking that mullet and the pistol. He was like, I'm getting you out of here. It was badass. It really was. Like, oh shit, Eugene's actually acting a badass now. And there's a truck. Good job,
and the sad thing about that is you would expect Eugene to have been the straight up coward and get someone killed. And it was the total opposite. He saves whatever her name is, put her to the van, and then with the van decided to play, come on guys, ride him cowboy! Banging on the side of the van like it was his horse.
Yeah, he didn't. Also, this guy did not listen to Glenn whatsoever. Like, okay, remember these two doors there, they're going to smash him. You didn't listen to Glenn at all. You just ran like a bitch. Man, fuck you.
I mean,
it's like, one of my favorite things that Eugene did in this episode is when Nicholas came up and was like, we got to go. And he's like, okay, where's my friends? It's like, no. It's like, we need to go right now. And Eugene's like, the fuck? Let's turn this shit off, step out. It's like, what, bitch?
That was epic as hell.
Eugene was like, I thought he was going to deck him.
For as good as it was, is that you also saw how Eugene really is. Clumsy and don't know how to do much.
But also,
I thought someone was getting shot.
Go ahead. I was going to say really quickly that this is like he's actually paying back the group that actually saved his life. Literally saved his life and pretty much not getting killed. So pretty much all that anger I had for Eugene is pretty much wiped away because what he did and pretty much that action he did. Now I pretty much hate Alexandria's people so much. Like, they're just utterly dicks.
I mean, but you heard him say...
I mean, no, there's one guy who's being a dick, but everyone else has been cool. There's one guy who's being a dick.
Well, to be fair, Aaron's the only one who's actually a cool character. He's not a dick. He knows what he's doing sometimes.
Wait, who?
Aaron.
Todd is going swimming.
Yeah, I said Aaron.
I was gonna say, the only person who's a dick in Alexandria, who's still alive. Well, I guess the guys who went out with Glenn. But in Alexandria, there's only one guy who's being a dick, and that's Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Peter. He's a dick in the comics too.
Is that the husband? Is that the husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay.
He's the woman
That's
abuser.
Jesse's husband.
Can I just say that while they don't have enough information at the moment to at least suggest counseling before killing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's something weird that we were talking about last night. It was like when we were watching this, it's like Carol's like, "You're gonna have to kill him." I was like, and Matt's like, how about arresting him?
Yeah. Put him in lockup for a while. Probation. Put him on the work.
See that whole thing feeds into my previous wild speculation about the group. They kind of planting all these seeds now.
Don't you think that was
people in the group are kind of turning crazy cuckoo town?
Now, instead of Carol telling Rick to kill him, why didn't she just kill him herself?
Right.
I mean, that was just straight up, if you want him dead, yeah, you see all the signs of abuse because you were abused by your husband, so you know what to look for. You can see the patterns. So, okay, he needs to die, well, then do it yourself.
She's not going to do it herself because she doesn't want to have that. She wants to get Rick on her team. There's still a little, hey, yeah, Carol saved our ass and stuff, but she did, torch the people back over the prison, so she can't just start doing stuff. She's got to really make sure that she gets Rick on the dark side. So it's like
to that point there, that point never really happened. I never read that, so it never happened.
What do you mean it never happened?
Carol in the prison was a douchebag. Carol in the prison committed her own suicide like a dumb fuck. Yeah. Carol didn't know how to act. If you didn't like her as a friend or acknowledge her in any way, she wanted to kill herself at every turn.
Pretty much.
So that whole part, and
the comic book, yes.
Tyrese's whole storyline, I wish they would have introduced her.
No.
Thank you.
It's like, y'all study bringing up. It's like, well, this is how it happened in the comic books.
No.
We're not discussing the goddamn motherfucking comic books. This is a show.
No. This Carol TV show is
people.
Let me explain this because I'm actually read comic books.
Before we lose the Carol from the TV show, I want to say I really think it's something deeper than just she burned some people in the prisons and stuff, to what Reggie was saying. I actually think she wants to make a coup. She wants Rick to do this because she knows what will explode after, and she wants them to have control of this place.
Yeah, that'll be good too.
That's what I'm saying. She wants to make sure if she convinces Rick to kill that guy, then that puts Rick in her squad, and then whatever crazy things that she wants to do later, she can be like, well, hey, you killed that guy. What's one more thing, or what's one more thing, So.
Right, and also Carol, she's a very good manipulator, and also she's very crafty when it comes to when she said, "Oh, we should kill that person." Why? Because I know so. Okay, we're gonna kill him right now. Not like everyone's somewhat gullible, but again, it was really cool to see Carol pretty much play those type of cards in her favor. Like, yes, we should kill him. Why? Because he's an abusive person. Okay, how do you know this? Have you not seen my hair now? Have you not seen my husband? Good point.
Hair?
It's a long story. Anyways, also getting back to that comic book situation, which I'm going to explain right now, really quickly.
Okay.
Never
Getting back to the show.
Thank you. No more comic book.
Look, how many people watch this show, viewership-wise? Over 14 million people, give or take?
Yeah, a shit ton.
Okay, out of all those viewerships, I guarantee you half of them don't even read a fucking comic book. Don't even pick up a comic book.
Exactly.
Because the comic book is not relevant to what's going on here.
Exactly.
What you're not understanding, Lou Rod, is that this is an adaptation. That's what it is. It's a different version of it. It's like
I've been arguing the same point with Lou in another conversation as well, that I don't. They are so separate, and as somebody who read them before seeing them, this show has thrown me for a loop, and I love how they've done it. Even things where they have failed majorly, like the prisoner, the governor in the prison in the comics is so great.
That was horrible.
But even what they did in the show, it still it just threw me, and that's what they meant to do. So They're different, and then on purpose.
Like
Yeah,
I
they're two
like I
completely
told
different
them,
mediums.
I agree with some of the changes, but some of these changes are just horrendous. I get why they switched Herschel and Tyrese's roles with the beheading. I can follow it because Herschel in the comic was a straight up asshole. Tyrese was a badass. So they flipped them around. Cool. We have other elements where Herschel loses a leg. He's taking Dale's spot in the comic, which, okay, fine. They still have certain characters still alive in the comic where they killed them off here. It's great. But some of the elements are just stupid. They failed the governor big time. That whole prison situation, they just failed him because Michonne fucks him up. And they could have done some of those elements, and it would have been great for television.
Okay. Changing gears here. What the hell with Carol's attitude towards that kid there? And I know she didn't want him ratting and stuff, but geez, lighten up a little bit. Shit.
Maybe she really does want him to rat. Again,
Well,
anything that will spark.
We were talking about this last night, actually.
Yeah. And the way I got it figured is like, I mean, given because back in the prison and back in those days, Carol was always the one that was closest to the kids, and she was teaching them. And I think we can all agree that Carol's history with kids has not really been all that great. So I think she honestly just doesn't want to become attached to get another kid. But it's like, I mean, speaking of the kid, it's like, how fucked up is it? I mean, he's got to really have some fucked up shit at home. It's like, because he has the choice between being at home and being with the crazy cookie lady that threatened to tie him to a tree and feed him to walkers, and he picked option B.
Well, maybe he likes option B for the fact that maybe I can get cookies, and I'll get cookies because I'll annoy her to death, and she'll give me cookies, or I stay home and my daddy beats me for no reason.
Exactly.
22 right there.
Just like what they say about the Menendez brothers when they go and you go to your brother and it's like, hey, let's go ahead and blow up mom and dad with a shotgun, and your brother says, yeah, that sounds good. Then done some piss poor parenting there. So
Yeah.
But
his home life is probably not too good.
Yeah, it can't be if option B is a better option.
And plus, getting cookies in a motherfucking zombie apocalypse, shit. I don't care what I gotta do.
right, like
That's true enough.
compared to beating
First
and
cookies? Fuck yes.
You realize how devoid that world must be of cookies? So get some cookies. Shit.
Yes, this kid was threatened too, by the way. He was threatened by Carol. It's like, I get a cookie and get threatened again, or I get beaten up by my father. I'll get threatened and get some cookies again.
It was that applesauce, the addition of the applesauce that.
Hey, if you're gonna go, you might as well go with some cookies in your stomach.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you're gonna kill me, let me have some brownies and cookies, please, before you choke me out. I want to have some food in my stomach.
And then it's like, I mean, of course something else happened in this episode. Like, okay, what the fuck is Father Gabriel talking about?
He's a snitch. He's a big
Exactly,
snitch.
like-
That's all he was. Sorry.
She
Well,
didn't
go ahead,
call
Matt.
him out on it. She didn't go, hey, give me an example. If she had said, give me an example, and he actually had an example, then, there would have been something there. Because he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely telling the truth. He is.
I actually I have
I don't
see it as the truth.
On accident. He's telling the truth on accident.
I've got some wild speculation for Gabriel, but we'll get to that.
we'll get to that a little bit
Let me
later.
chew into Gabriel for a moment. Let me chew into him for a
Wait a second. There's a conversation I want to have. Matt, how do you feel that he was telling the truth?
Because these people are already plotting the worst case scenario of taking over this place. But he doesn't know that. He has no earthly idea of that. But these people are plotting to, if they have to, of killing everyone. And they're not just going to kill the main fucking people and then take over. No, they're plotting to fucking kill everyone.
I don't think they're plotting to kill everyone. It's like, I mean, they're certainly plotting to take to take over the town if it's necessary. That doesn't necessarily mean it's like their intention is to kill everyone. That's a little bit further than.
How are they going to trust anyone from that town?
You don't.
Wait, so your honest thought is that Rick and his people are capable of whole-scale slaughter of everyone in this town?
That's nothing.
Really?
That's
If,
just nothing.
You think
under the right
you can
circumstances,
kill innocent people?
under the right circumstances, yes.
No,
I can't imagine a single circumstance in which Michonne would kill an innocent person.
I can't see
I can't think of a single circumstance in which Darrow would kill an innocent person.
Yeah,
If
it's
they
for
were
survival
betrayed.
at this point then.
Huh?
If they've been betrayed, I think so, yes.
I can't disagree with you more.
Sorry. I have to agree with you too.
That would be so far out of character for all of them that's no.
Yeah.
See, the whole sad thing about
let's put it to a vote. Let's put it to a vote just because I want to see is like where we're standing on this. Who all agrees with Matt? Todd?
No.
Isaiah?
No.
Lou?
nope.
Reggie?
What was the question again?
Do you think that Rick and his crew are capable of whole-scale slaughter of innocent people to take over this town?
Partially.
Partially.
Yeah, it gets into my wild speculation from previous. But.
Okay.
Capable of? I will also say partially, but
I'll say
planning to, I don't think so.
I would say it's not the whole group. I would say portions of the group, yes. Portions of the group, no.
Survival, and I say maybe.
I could see
If
if Rick.
it is them or if it's us or them, they're going to choose us. And they can't trust a single motherfucker that lives in the state before them.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
If Rick was forced to have to kill people, he would kill the ones that don't believe in his way of survival.
Yeah, like
They've been through it all.
Right.
The Alexandria crew, they're used to being behind these pretty little walls and not facing any real danger.
Because of their protection.
Oh, bitch ass Father fucking Gabriel, he left his people outside in the woods to be slaughtered.
Exactly.
But yet he wants to sit here and condemn Rick and his group. Oh, they're not good people. No, motherfucker. They did what they have to do to survive. They
Right.
left your sorry ass up on that high ass little rock where that walkers were trying to eat your feet.
Yeah, and what happened to
And
Rick?
the thing that really pisses me off is like about that whole scene is that Father Gabriel hasn't known this crew enough to know. He has absolutely no idea all the shit they've been through.
And not only that, but what Father Gabriel has done is worse than what any motherfucker in this group has done. Father Gabriel's crimes, sins, are much greater than anyone else in this group.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'll agree with that. He fucking literally went, picked the fucking wood floor up, went underneath, and then he puts Michonne, the baby, and Carl in danger because his sorry ass steps on a fucking nail because he needed proof. Bitch, fuck, what they did was save your life.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are cannibals.
They're not good people. They're bad people. They've always been like
Shut up.
That lady saw he was crazy. She could tell. That's
Yeah, and also this lady ain't gonna do shit. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that lady ain't gonna do shit. She ain't gonna do like, oh, okay, Rick's crew is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna do this. This is my face not giving a fuck. Just letting you know that now, Gabriel. And then she just walks away from him. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna think about it right now. No, I'm not.
But do we really know that? Do we really know her intentions? No, we don't. We'll have to wait and see next week.
Yeah, she's still taking it all in, and plus Glenn hasn't gotten back yet, and she hasn't had all that.
when
I don't know, like at the end of that scene, her words imply the idea that, you know what, motherfucker, you're a crazy person. It's very obvious you're a crazy person. And now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with you, the crazy person. That's what her words said. But her
definitely what she
actions kind of
said.
gave the impression of the opposite, that maybe she was considering what he had to say.
Yeah.
So I kind of got mixed feelings in that particular scene.
I think she was considering his mental illness, but I mean, her perception's going to change due to the fact that they all did show up, Glenn and them. We just didn't get to see the reaction yet.
But at the same time, you see like her group, Rick's group is becoming more better being leaders and more better being scholars and everything else like that. Like Abraham.
Because, dude, it's real life dangers that they have been faced with.
Right, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah,
That's why
that was his point.
That's why Duke Nukem himself, like, that's why the guy came back to what's her face, like, man, he was a great man, he was a good leader, he was all this and that, he was better than me. And so it's like, really interesting.
I mean, did anybody else catch it when he saw the birds flying away kind of fast, and he like paused for a second? You already knew. He already had that feeling shit was about to go down.
Right, like.
So he was just mentally getting himself prepared.
Yeah, that's what for me. That's a good group is. That's a good, well-equipped people are. That's how Rick is like to his people. He keeps them pretty much on their toes, keeps them ready for anything else. So with that leadership, it passed on to a lot of people, like Glenn, Abraham, everyone. So
I just want to point out a little thing is I don't think that he got that particular instinct, that he got those skills from the zombie apocalypse. I think the zombie apocalypse fine-tuned them, but he's former military. I think that he got that from fucking literally being in wartime situations. And the zombie apocalypse just fine-tuned it to where it was basically instinct instead of thought.
I could agree with that as well.
I just think it's who he was always. Even before the zombie apocalypse, I think he was ready to...
I have a question, though. A really good question. Minus all the anger. So was Noah's death really that? No, I got something. It's really important. So be quiet. Anyways, folks, was Noah's death really that necessary to have? I mean, really necessary?
I agree it was bullshit, and I do want to say this does go into the whole Walking Dead racist theory. It does.
Oh, boy, there's no racism.
It does. It does a little bit, because, I mean, just a fucking couple months ago, we were like, wow, this cast is so fucking fleshed out and multicultural now. And now it's literally they're in paradise, as Gabriel says. It's all white, and fucking now Noah's dead. And but forget the racism. Noah's death makes Tyrese's death irrelevant, and that's a huge fucking problem too.
But Tyrese's death was irrelevant. His death was.
It wouldn't have been irrelevant if Noah lived on. Like in that moment when he got that oatmeal and he became a fucking wall builder, then Tyrese's death and Sasha becoming a badass, then it would have been relevant. Tyrese would have died for, something awesome, but now it's stupid.
I kind of mourn the death of Noah because Noah could have been Glenn season 1.
Right.
Season 1 was this tracker. He went out and fucking there'd be a city full of walkers. He didn't give a fuck. He'd fucking go around them. He'd go above them. He'd find what he needed to do. He was a great retriever of stuff, a great salvager. Noah could have been that character for this season, and they kill him. It made me sad. And yeah, it really did. Like they needed to keep that.
Oh, okay, man. How sober were you when you were watching?
Actually, we were pretty sober.
Drinking about halfway through the episode, so shut the fuck
up. We actually were sober. It was like because that was the first thing we watched last night, and so yeah, we were actually sober at the time.
Well, to me,
anyway.
I love Noah's death because of the goriness.
I didn't like it.
Goriness aspect was great.
Yes.
But as far as the character itself, I could give a flying fuck about him because he didn't exist.
But come on, now it was Noah. You got some more interesting characters, like Todd said. But no,
there's nothing interesting about Noah. Isaiah. His character wasn't interesting.
Yes, he was.
He could have been.
He would have never been interesting. I could see where.
You would have hated his character regardless because he wasn't in the comic books. So your opinion on this, honestly, not relevant.
No.
Okay, because listen to you. It's not real. It's not real. This entire thing is fiction, you moron. None of this shit is real.
But certain characters, you can see what they've done with on the show versus the comic. Sasha's replacing Andrea.
That's fine by me.
She's replacing Andrea because Andrea's still alive to the point where I'm at. Versus replaced Tyrese's death, which I'm fine with.
You keep trying to draw parallels and such, but just watch the show.
Exactly.
I'm watching the show.
Exactly.
And the show is doing a poor injustice.
You're like trying to make all these parallels and draw these lines so you can wrap it around. Just accept the fact that this is an adaptation, and the things on the show are not going to be identical to what's happening in the comics. Because if they were identical to what happened in the comics, the show would be really, really boring because everyone would know what happens.
The world wouldn't know what happened because half the world ain't reading it. So the elements of the comic would have still been great on this show.
Okay, so before we go into this long tangent, let me explain a little bit on Noah's death because I didn't hate it. It was because it was impactful, but at the same time, it was so unnecessary. Like Beth's death, that was sad, but why did you kill Beth? It's like why?
Because Billy died.
Yeah, but no one.
She replaced Billy from the comics, so she had to die.
Oh God, enough with the
What is Billy?
God.
That's another long story, but the point is I'm trying to reach is that since
The
you kind
next
of
time you
all
mention
these
the comics, Lou Rod, you were on timeout for 3 minutes.
but
I could care less about
Do it one more
timeout.
time.
Timeout don't phase me. I
anyways,
want realism, and they're not doing it.
anyways, thank you. So since The Walking Dead itself is killing off some really cool characters minus Tyrese, it's like, why are you doing this? You can make something more out of it. You can make something really interesting, really cool. Make their deaths even more meaningful down the road instead of just doing like that. Like, oh, really? Go fuck yourself, writers. Just go fuck yourself. Sorry, go fuck yourself. That's all I could say at that night. Because they had an opportunity to make an interesting character, like Matt said, and they can make him like a Glenn character and pretty much do anything with this character, any means, because he was not bound to the comic books, just like Sasha was, just like everyone else who was not bound to the comic books have more range to do anything they want to. But since they cut that off, it's like, why are you doing this? You could have did something so much better, so much interesting, but then you don't get it, and then you just feel empty. This is why I say, in a sense of term, racist, not because the writers are racist, it's just because the ratio and the characters. No, in fact, yes, they've been in the comics. I don't care about the comics right now. I'm just talking about like in the larger spectrum of things. Like, why keep doing this for all minority characters? Do this for other characters. Do this for Glenn. Do this for anyone whose death is going to come up. Do it unpredictable. But you're doing this for characters who, oh, he's going to die because he's black. That kind of scenario, that kind of stereotypical mindset is in our mind. That's why I'm a kind
They're
of.
not doing it in a racist
You should have killed Sasha.
Can I speak to Isaiah's point here?
Of course, go ahead.
Inside of it, because the reason why it is racist is because they are. Here's the question: who's expendable? Now, everyone says, "Oh, Noah's boring. You can't do anything." Look at the size of Noah. He's this tiny little guy how he sat down with those meetings to be a leader. Maybe he could become a leader and a different kind of hero that we don't see. You know what I mean? A mental hero.
Right.
There's so many interesting stories you could do with it. Tyrese died so that character can go on. So if somebody needed to die today and they went through the list and who's expendable, it's this guy. Why is it just a coincidence that each time someone's expendable, it's a black guy?
See?
It seems to me they're killing off everybody that's losing that killer survival instinct, and that kind of, because with this episode, they were kind of talking about with Noah, it's like, oh, you're a good shooter, but then he's having these talk about, oh, well, I want to build stuff and I want to, and it's like, okay, well, his needle's moving a little bit more towards, hey, let's just live a life and just be cool and not have to worry about doing all this crazy shit, and so he dies. And
okay, so then Michelle's going to die by the end of the season.
Well, in my thought, I think the previous people that have died so far have kind of been at that point where they've kind of lost their killer edge and their killer be killed survival instinct, and so then they get whacked. So.
But against that, Noah just got that instinct. He just got that. I wanna stand up and lead instinct.
The target practice and the fucking he was kicking ass in this episode.
Honestly, and I'm sorry. This is a way to bring up the comics where it's necessary for a conversation, because some might say, well, there was nobody else you could kill. You really could have killed Eugene, because in that scene, Noah was, without giving spoilers, Noah was sort of setting up to be as useful as Eugene will become later on in the comics. And it might have been even more impactful to have Eugene go out in a fucking blaze of glory and they all get out of the fucking elevator.
Right.
Or whatever. That was cool, though. Putting him in.
Built up his character.
That was really cool.
So the progression of season 6, Noah wasn't needed.
They had to redeem Eugene. If they were going to kill Eugene, they had to redeem him just like they did in this episode. He needs to be redeemed before they're allowed to kill him, or else people would cry, why the fuck was he in the show in the first place? So now that he's redeemed...
Now he can die.
He is expendable now.
But he won't die.
Yeah, they won't kill him.
No, he might.
They've established that he feels like he should be the one that gets killed. They're going to make sure, and everybody's thinking, oh, well, he's going to go. So now they're not going to kill him off.
Right.
I don't know. I think this show is not ballsy enough, but we're not there yet. When we get to wild speculations, I'll speak exactly on this and explain why I'm black and white and what that means. It's not about porn is coming.
Are you sure?
It's about really, really
We're not
dirty
interested
porn.
then.
If it's free porn, then sign me up.
It's not triple X, it's quintuple X.
I know, that's better.
That's that German shit.
Hey,
Yeah, what
German
the hell?
shit.
It's like, let's go ahead and kick it into wild speculation time right now. So Todd, go ahead.
Okay. Oh shit. Before we do though, I guess it's part of it. What that kid said about we were the ones who begged. Remember when he was dying? Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Dude.
So many times.
Yeah, we rewound that part over and over and over again, trying to figure out what the fuck he said. And it just wasn't happening. We had to look it up online to figure out what he said.
Yeah, I fucking had to look it up online. I couldn't understand what they were saying. It was the word panic is the one that fucking threw us. It wasn't us who panicked, or it wasn't them who panicked. And, yeah, that fucking line. Oh yeah, the word panic is what threw us. We couldn't understand what the fuck.
So what was it in the end of the day? Was it
rage? Like we nothing that sounded like panic in that line.
Yeah, it sounded like Pete to me. That's what I kept hearing. I kept hearing Pete.
Yeah. It was hard. It was really hard to hear.
But it's like, yeah, he was talking about that they were the ones that panicked. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
No,
I thought I heard
I knew I had to sober. I had to sober because by that point I had been drinking. But it basically referring to the group that they were in the first place. Basically, he was admitting that it was their fault that the people that used to be in charge of the salvaging died. Basically, he was admitting fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, I thought that tied into something somebody else had said earlier, which I forget, but on the when that dude was giving over leadership of the crew to Abraham, there was something else he was giving up, like being the first line of defense because winter is coming. Because motherfucker shit cock and Lucille is coming.
Yeah.
And it's already in place. I really think so. There was a lot of clues this time, and they are jumping. They are going to speed through a lot of things in the comics. Because I will say, the Alexandria plot is one politics. It's a minor drama almost. And if you notice, all the characters are like, this is all minor drama. So the show itself, or its momentum, does not need a minor drama, and then the big shit that's going to happen, we are going to get dick smacked at the season finale. 100% guaranteed.
Hey, I hope that happens, because it'll be like, okay, I got to wait for season 6.
The thing is, it's going to be Eugene. And I won't say anything. I'm not going to elaborate. Anybody who knows, though, who's coming and what's going to happen, it's going to be Eugene who it happens to, because they don't have balls.
Yeah, possibly. It's like we have a comment from one of our viewers, Dawn. She says that the comment made sense. It's not parallel. It does actually make sense, and that the show itself does not have to add any African American characters that isn't a character in the comic. Well, my thing is this: like, what's the point of adding the characters if you're just going to kill them a few episodes?
Right. That's the point. I mean, that's no offense to anything, but that was like big issue. Like, okay, you have this character again.
Isaiah, let's break it down like this. The show is put into a budget. You know that there's more characters coming towards season 6, so you got to get rid of the old to bring in the new.
His character kill all the niggers.
Needed.
But not technically though.
We need more people. Better start killing niggers.
Oh yeah, black horse. Kill that black horse. Kill that black horse. Is he male? Yeah, kill
I got my hanging rope. You guys need to borrow my hanging rope?
Let's lynch this dude. Who are we gonna lynch? That white guy? No, let's lynch that black guy. Okay, let's lynch him.
But
Isaiah, I forgot to ask. You need to mail me back my white hood and robe. You need to mail that back.
I'm not doing that right now. I want to keep it just in case, like you see there a black person, like the pastor, like, oh, hang that pastor right there. He's a snitch. Hang him. Make sure that happens.
Hey, Isaiah, just for you.
I don't understand why you keep making me call you wizard and grand wizard and shit. I don't understand why you keep making me call you wizard.
In bed?
Okay, so does anyone else have any wild speculation?
Yeah, I got some. So
All right, go ahead.
Yes, the W is about to come into play. Go for it, Reggie. Mine was
so I think I was getting the vibe that my wild speculation of the Civil War within the group. I still think we're kind of heading for a split down the group, where some folks still kind of bouncing around on who, but probably Carol, maybe Rick on one side, Michonne, and Daryl on the other. I don't know. We'll kind of figure out. But I still think there's going to be a rift within the group. My other thought that I had was that Gabriel, that's a priest, right? Keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who cares?
I think his little blabber session was actually a ploy to get the folks to fighting, so then he can turn around and do a flip flop and then all of a sudden become a badass. And they've been making all this thing about how he's so scared and how he's so whatever, and he got his people killed and stuff. I think all of this time he's been like stewing, and now he's getting ready to start showing some badassery, and then getting into really wild speculation. I think perhaps he's masterminding some of these W's and the cannibals and some of this other craziness that we've seen. I think it's gonna probably come back to show that, hey, he's the one that's been organizing all of this, and now he's got the group set in his sights, and he's gonna join the dark side or get to dying.
That is some pretty wild speculation. I like it. I don't agree with it, but that is fucking impressive. I have to admit.
That's probably
W
the
for
wild speculation that we've had on here.
Yeah. Other than Isaiah's, because those
it's
really make no
Isaiah.
sense.
Well, Isaiah's like, I know you have a wild speculation. Just
all right,
get on with
folks.
it.
So here comes a real speculation, a real person here. Anyways, so what's her face? I keep on forgetting her name. What's her name? Donna.
Who? DeAno?
Who was the leader who over Alexandria? So
DeAno.
DeAno, yeah.
Deanna. She will give the leadership to Rick soon. When you get when the case starts to happen, like when she starts figuring like, wait a minute, my group, my whole town is pretty much alive. We're pretty much weaklings, and so by doing this, she's gonna create chaos within Alexandria, where Rick and his team have to step up to the plate and save everyone. Which is gonna give Rick and his crew respect, and they're gonna say, okay, we should listen to this guy now. We should be just doing this and that. Because if you guys have been noticing, all of Alexandria's people, the Scouters and everyone else, is just pathetic. They're all pathetic. So they need the Donna needs someone who pretty much knows how to take care of things personally and also take care of their people without any casualties. So Rick will have to step up when the shit starts to happen, which will happen by all means. That's when that big step of Alexandria is going to come by. And the second speculation is, since we've seen we all been asking, like, how in the world did these walkers get cleared out in the first place at Alexandria? And there's the W. Everything's all connected in the biggest way ever. So you're going to see more badass villains that's going to put everyone into shape in a good way, too, because they got too many puss cakes on the screen. Like, we need some real people here, not some puss cakes. So when Season 6 roll by, or glimpses of Season 6, we're going to see, like, oh, shit, we're going to get some good guys. Well, besides, we're going to see some bad guys. More and more bad guys, folks. More and more to come. And also, one last thing. Alexandria's not the only place. There's more factions in the world of Walking Dead. There's multiple factions, so we're going to see more factions down the road.
Isaiah, every
like a
single
giant
one of those
run-on
wild
sentence.
speculations are not wild speculations. They are direct from the comics. Every single one of those.
There's absolutely nothing wild about that. Dude.
Hey, you said no one reads it, right? So, hey, it's still speculation. Boom. Counter on
I
that.
took all three of those speculations straight from the comics. And I don't even read the comics and I know that shit.
Hey, that's technically, look on the bright side. No one's ever reading them, and I'm still good. I'm still good, baby. I'm still untouchable. See these glasses? That means one thing, magic.
Another wild speculation is that they will put the definition of wild speculation in the comic books, so that Mr. comic book there can hit us straight.
Exactly. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you very much for agreeing with me. You see how you go, folks. He agrees with my logic. It was all over. Game over, folks.
Okay. That went
good.
over his head.
That's the point. That's the complete other point.
And Dawn has another comment here. She says the show has also killed off many non-African American people.
Let's do some ratios.
Yeah, this is ratios.
But it's
So
true.
y'all are forgetting the fact that the show is not called Empire, so of course.
No.
Don't you know that in TV you
I
can
thought this
only
was Blackish.
you can
No,
only
I thought it was black.
you can only keep alive the black characters if the show is comprised solely of black characters.
Yeah, if you have 75% white people, 25% black people, then there should be a kill ratio of 75 to 25. That's not the case. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like fucking profiling in New York City. Let's face it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying the show's racist. I just find it interesting that it's like every time you have too many black men on the show, several of them tend to die.
And they all tend to be black.
That's
Males.
No.
And
It's not
that's the
all.
problem,
I mean,
is
lots of
you
people
can't
die.
kill
But
Gabriel
it's just, it's like you have the threshold. It's like, yeah, you have to have a black male here, black male, black here. Oh, wait a second, we have too many. Kill two.
Yeah, they keep with their quota. Like, okay, how many black people have we killed today? Okay, kill him all. We're gonna kill our quota. Oh,
Which
okay.
means we can't kill Gabriel until we get another black man.
Which is sad.
How are
because-
you going to kill Gabriel if he never leaves the walls?
And I will give it that it's not actually racist, because if it were racist, the same rule would apply to the females. It is not applied to the females. Fucking Michonne's been there forever.
Yeah.
Sasha's been there forever. Obviously, the rules are, it's not just black, but it's black male.
Thank
That's
you.
The only people it fucking applies to is black males.
Yep.
I agree.
Always kill me all first. That's why I don't join the group. That's why I never joined Rick's group. Like, nah, dude, I'm black. I'm black. Fuck that. Stay home.
So basically, it's like before they kill Father Gabriel, it's like, I mean, Morgan would have to like actually officially join the group, and at that point it'd be open season on Father Gabriel.
I hope so, but okay, we're gonna see Morgan. Where's
Morgan
Morgan
is
at?
following.
Where's Morgan at, man? What's taking him so long? Come on, dog.
Where's who?
Morgan? Where is
Morgan.
he at?
He keeps
Yeah,
dropping
it's
dropping
been
off
a long
moon
time
guys.
since we've
So.
Yeah,
They made it
has been a
seem
good
like
look.
he was going to start being in a lot of episodes from that point on, and he has not been in a single episode since.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like they were hinting at something, and that something has not occurred as of yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
I will
gonna
be
do that.
pissed if
They're
we
just
never
gonna do
see that motherfucker again. I will be upset.
I
They're-
want to see the
They're gonna do that
motherfucker.
BSTV thing where we won't see him, and then the finale, then he'll just show up and save the day.
That would be
Blah, blah.
cool, though. That would be cool.
No, that's cliche. They do, they tease it, and then they pull it out. Oh, there's gonna be a surprise in the finale. And here he comes, and it's like, no, you know what? If the show had balls, don't show him any more of the season. Next season, season later, be like, oh yeah, hey, we teased this guy. You remember him? I would be overjoyed if they had the balls to do that.
There you go.
I have
Morgan
bad
finally.
news for everyone. I have bad news for everyone. TV still exists after the zombie apocalypse. The only station still around is BET, and all it's doing is playing
Are
reruns
you
of Moesha.
fucking serious?
It's only
Are you
playing
serious?
reruns of Moesha on a loop.
Oh, dude, Jesus.
Wouldn't matter to me.
That's so terrible. MTV. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, save the people. Why can't you have... Oh, Lord.
No, Empire would be on a loop.
Oh, God. The nightmares.
No, from what I
But
understand,
that
Empire
means-
actually is
That
quality
means
TV.
BET would have to pay Empire for syndication, and BET ain't gonna do that.
But they went on his apocalypse this time. Like, okay, we need the money, so, okay, we'll swallow this pill here.
BET,
And-
Black Exploitive Television.
Yep.
All right, so it's like we have one final comment for Dawn before we wrap up this episode. She says, so in retrospect, which, by the way, Dawn, one word, not two. In retrospect, the African-American characters added that were not a part of the comic should never have been killed off. That's our question. And I don't think any of us are saying that exactly. We're not saying they should
I'm not
never be
saying
killed
that.
off.
Just
Just
kill him well. Kill him well. That's
Kill
all.
him well.
Dude,
Kill
Noah
him
had a good
equally.
death.
It was bullshit. It was like,
Noah's
oh, really?
death was great. Think about it, Isaiah. Noah was pulled out because of the other stupid fuck's fault.
Exactly.
So,
And
if Noah's death was awesome, dude.
It
He gets
was
pulled
awesome.
out.
It
Now,
was
Kyrie-
awesome. But it was
I don't
irrelevant.
agree.
It was irrelevant, and that was the problem. Like, there were so many things that Noah's death. There was just no fucking reason for him to die, and it fucked up Tyrese's death. It was an awesome death, though. I loved it. But
Dude,
you know
Tyrese
what?
was
It was
sneaky
almost
close.
really insulting. If you think about it, the way they just tore him to fucking bits, it was almost like, haha, fuck you, this is how irrelevant he is.
Right. Basically. It's like, oh, you think he's relevant?
Actually-
Well, watch this.
I just had a thought. Wasn't Noah's death the only one of the brothers there that was directly related to someone else's stupidity? Wasn't everyone else's death just kind of their own?
Well,
I
T-Dog was
didn't check
heroic.
that corner or whatever.
Hey. T-Dog was a hero. So
That's
don't
right.
make
Yeah,
T-Dog.
T-Dog's death was heroic, but for the most part, yeah, that's a true statement.
True.
Basically.
Yeah.
But all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this week's discussion vidcast. There are exactly 2 episodes left in this season of Walking Dead, and of course, Geeks Around will be with you every single step of the way. Geeks Around, YouTube.com/GeeksAround. If you have anything for us, you can always email us at geeksaround@gmail.com or call in our voicemail line at 801-609-GOTR. Again, that is 801-609-4687. Until next week, my name is DeAno Jackson, and we will see you then.